Hi and welcome to Transwest Truck Trailer RV located in Frederick, Colorado. Today we're going to take a look at a brand new Freightliner that's in our lineup today. This is a 2020 Freightliner M2 106. The conversion on it is Summit Hauler. It is stock number 5N191490. And we'll start by taking a look at the front of the truck. One thing you'll notice about all the Summit Haulers is we have a very unique grille on the front of them, very dressed up and classy, purchased from the C9 company. The bumper is actually broken into three parts. So we have pieces on both ends and in the middle. So say we get into an accident and bend this, we can simply swap this out as opposed to doing the entire piece. Now as we take a look underneath the hood, that is the Cummins 8.9 liter engine. It is coupled with the Allison 3200 TRV transmission. It offers 350 horsepower with 1,150 foot-pounds of torque. A couple of things to notice from here. Here's where we would check the oil. We will know that because it is yellow in color. Everything's underneath this is color coordinated. So where we see yellow is stuff that we can do. On the other side is where we would check the coolant level. Here's where we would check the power steering. If we would leave light or something on and the battery is dead, they actually designed this so we can jump it underneath here. The batteries are under the back seat of the vehicle, so as opposed to tearing under there, they connected it so we could jump it right there. Now if we are underneath the hood and working on things and a gust of wind comes up, it's not going to squish us. The only way we can put that hood down is to manually force it down. Now as we take a look at the tires, these are Michelin 255 ADR 22.5. If we can zoom in right here, the Summit Hauler conversion does come with tire balancers, and that is a specific drum in there. It has BBs with some hydraulic oil, so as you pick up speed and gain momentum, that balances the entire rotating mass. So the rim, the wheel, the tire, and the hub are all balanced as you're going down the road. So that accomplishes a couple of things. First of all, it makes it for a smoother, nicer ride as you're going down the road. And second of all, that extends tire life. And recent research has shown that it will extend tire life up to 45%. Under here is a block heater for the winter months, or if you're in a cold climate, we can plug that in right there. It comes with two 50-gallon fuel tanks. This one here and one on the opposite side. They are connected, however, you do have to fill them independently. This is the DEF tank. It holds up to 6 gallons of DEF. The national average is about 400 miles per 1 gallon of DEF. As we start to take a look at the inside, the switch to start the truck is down here. So we can do that from the ground. So if we want to start it and let it warm up for a few minutes, this is how we would do it. And when you start the vehicle, turn it about half and let those gauges go all the way over and all the way back before we start it. If we get impatient and start it too early, there's a chance that it'll start some codes or throw some codes that it doesn't need to. This little pedal here adjusts the steering wheel. So once we're sitting here, if we push this pedal, that can bring the steering wheel down or up and in and out, whatever makes us the most comfortable. This is an air right seat. This button here adjusts the air in the specific seat. Hot and cooled as well. In addition, it comes with lumbar support. So that adjusts there how much air we want in the back of the seat. This is a kill switch. And this is generally a good practice to get into whenever you stop the vehicle, to go ahead and shut that off. And what that does is stops any stray voltage that might be running through the truck. Right here is a 110 plug. This acts as a trickle charger. So if we get somewhere at night and want to have the lights on in the cab and so forth, we can plug that in to assist the batteries. As we take a look at the back seat, just like all haulers, this back seat does make into a bed. Simply push the button and it goes down, and to bring it back up again. An industry advantage that Summit Hauler has is the amount of storage capacity. If we just stand back and look, we'll see a very large amount. There's 3 components on each side. As we take a closer look at the front one, not only will we see a lot of room in there, but we're also zooming in on an air hose. So you can actually hook an air hose up to it right there. The top of the bed is rhino lined as we come back. As we take a look at the rear of the truck, underneath here is a hitch for a traditional bumper pull trailer. One thing that Summit Hauler also does is put an additional 800 pounds on the rear end of the truck. That does a couple of things. Obviously, there's more weight in the front than the back of the truck, so that helps balance out, but more importantly, it helps with traction. So as we get into mud or even snow, it helps us gain traction with that extra weight on the back. Now, I know a lot of people that are looking at this type of vehicle are also looking at pickups, and I fully admit that it's amazing the towing capacity that they're putting on pickup trucks these days. Well, that's all fine and good if we're able to tow 25, 30,000 pounds, but once you get up and going, what's gonna stop you? That's gotta be a concern. Safety is foremost important in our minds when producing these type of vehicles. So I brought along a couple of brake pads. Okay, that's the brake pad of a Ford F350, so a 1-ton. So when you have all that weight pushing you, this is what's going to stop you, as opposed to this. This is the drum for this specific truck. So if you compare them side by side, when you have all that weight behind you pushing you, what's more likely to stop you? Not only today, but looking long term down the road, which is going to have a higher chance of stopping you when you're going? Well, it's obviously going to be this one. The Summit Hauler beds are aluminum as compared to the competition that's made out of steel. So 10, 15 years from now, this is going to look like it does today. So there's not going to be any rust. As we continue to walk around the vehicle, we'll take a quick look at the back storage component. You can still see that there's a lot of room there. The truck does come with these little steps, so when we're going into the trailer to hook up, or into the back of the truck to hook up the trailer, to ease us going up and in. From this angle, we can see the amount of space that's in the truck and get a really good shot of the DVD system. Now we'll take a closer look at the inside. Okay, you've heard me mention safety a few times already, and we're going to go over a couple of more things that make this safer than a traditional pickup truck. One, notice how high off the ground we are. So that helps a couple of things. Not only can we see potential hazards coming directly at us, but we can see them coming from the side as well. Another safety feature to this compared to a pickup, this comes with air brakes as opposed to a pickup that has hydraulic brakes. So if you get a leak in the air line, obviously there's an unlimited amount of air. So it simply replaces it and funnels through those lines, as opposed to hydraulics, where if we get a leak in a line, we will sure feel it when we go to hit the brakes. it'll be a lot softer, and that's assuming that we have any brakes left at all. So those are two major advantages that this truck has over a pickup. Now, as we take a look in here, we'll start at the top and work our way down. This is our backup camera. This runs off the Voyager system, so you can hook up to actually 4 other cameras to that. So it'll divide into quarters or halves, all depending on how many cameras we have. Over here is our air horn. As we come down, the gauges are pretty self-explanatory. There's 2 here that you might not be familiar with that we'll go over. That's the air pressure gauge. The top one is strictly brakes. All that does is funnel air to the brakes, and that monitors how much air is in there. The bottom one is the secondary. So that goes to all of the other air. As you notice, this is an air ride, air in the cabin, lumbar, all of that stuff is monitored on that gauge. As we come over, here's our cruise control. There's our lock. This does all of the windows there. As we come down, this is an automatic, just like the rest of them, an automatic transmission. So it's very, very simple to drive. Right now we're in neutral with our brakes on. So as we get going, it's simple. R for reverse or D for drive. You can run this as a manual transmission. Simply adjust the gears right here if you choose to. This is our intermediate markers. So as you're going down the road, if you like to communicate with other trucks, do that right there. There's our manual regen button. More than likely, we will never use that, but there's the button in case we have to. This locks the differential right here. This is our air dump in the back. And when we use that is if we're hooking up the trailer and we need to lower that back end a little bit, it does that right there. Here's our mirror heaters. This is our fan for the back seat. So if we want cool air flowing back there or hot, you simply adjust that as well. This is our engine brake. So right now it's off, but if you hit it to low, that affects 3 of the 6 cylinders. So it's a true engine brake. Not only does it stop exhaust from coming out, but this actually restricts fluid going in as well. So when we're on low, that affects 3 of the 6 cylinders. If we find ourselves on a steep decline, we want to put that to high, so that'll affect all 6 cylinders. So not only will that slow us down, but if we use that, that'll actually prolong brake life as well. As we come down, this is our trailer brake here. And over here is just our climate control system. So we can adjust how hot and cold we want the cab as well. So that's pretty much wraps up this truck. If you have any questions about this particular unit or anything on the lot, please feel free to give me a call at 303-684-3404 or my cell 970-370-4067. Thanks for tuning in today.